that, Lord, just be pleased with our praise. Lord, we humble ourselves to this preaching opportunity to preach your word unadulterated, Lord God. Fill our hearts with your word. Guide us by your word and through your word, Lord God. We'll live lives that are more pleasing before you. Have your way in our lives. And we'll be ever so thankful to give you the honor, the glory, and the praise. I humble myself, Lord God, hide me behind the cross. That your people will not see me, but hear you, Lord. And it will transform their lives to better serve you. It is your servant's prayer. In Jesus' name we do pray. Amen. Amen. Young people, today we will talk about godly friends. Godly friends. We'll go to 1 Samuel chapter 18, starting at verse 1. 1 Samuel, chapter 18, starting at verse 1. And it came to pass, when he had made an end of speaking unto Saul, that the soul of Jonathan was knit with the soul of David. And Jonathan loved him as his own soul. And Saul took him that day, and would let him not go no more home to his father's house. Then Jonathan and David made a covenant, because he loved him as his own soul. And Jonathan stripped himself of his robe that he had upon him, and gave it to David, and his garments, even to his sword, and to his bow, and to his girdle. And David went out whithersoever Saul sent him, and behaved himself wisely. And Saul set him over the men of war, and he was accepted in the sight of all the people, and also in the sight of Saul's servants. We are living in a time when ungodliness is rampant. When we see ungodliness on the news, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Snapchat, on Instagram, and the list goes on and on. This week alone, school incidents have been leading stories in the news almost every night. If not every day, it was almost every day. A teacher in North Carolina resigned for inappropriate relationships with students. Schools in Spartanburg on lockdown because of a tragedy there. School personnel on leave for inappropriate use of technology in McCormick. Lawrence, 75% of the high school did not even report on Friday after a week-long feud with violence and threats of gun violence on Friday. And Abbeville, born with a sex scandal. One ungodly act after another. If God brought your child home, if God brought your grandchild home, if God brought your niece and nephew home from school safe, all week long, you ought to clap your hands and give God a hallelujah. Young people's life is so easily taken. It is easily destroyed. It is so easily permanently changed. Due in great part to who you allow to become your friend. So Tay and Trey, Montorio and Dean, and Jada, and all of my young people, be careful who you allow to become friends in your life. It is paramount. It is crucial. It is essential. What is Pastor trying to say? It is very important that we surround ourselves with godly friends.
Yeah.
Not just good people, not just the popular people at school. I know we want to hang out with the popular crowd, but sometimes the popular crowd is not where you need to be.
Yes.
Not with the in crowd. Sometimes you got to be the out crowd.
Yes.
Not with the rich crowd. Sometimes you got to sit by yourself.
Yes.
Not just because they're your teammates or your classmates.
Yes.
Not just because they come from the same neighborhood that you live in. But it's crucial, it is the most important that we surround ourselves with godly people.
Yes.
Not just good people, young people, but godly people. Godly people who are going to try to help you live a life that's pleasing to God. Godly people who are going to encourage you to pray and walk this godly life. Godly people who don't mind saying a blessing over their lunch. Godly people who don't mind saying a word of prayer for you when you're going through hard times. We need to surround ourselves with godly people. I know that it's not going to always be the most popular thing to hang out with godly people, because you're doing the right thing, young people. It's not going to always make you popular, but you stand up for God and do the right thing anyhow. Because if you stand up for God, God will stand up for you. Now, don't get that twisted. I'm telling my young people to stand up for God, and I'm telling my adults to stand up for God also. Because you got to be the example for the young people. If you never say a prayer with your child will know not to say a prayer. But if you pray with your child will know how to pray. So we need to be praying with our child. We need to be reading God's word with our children. We need to have an intimate relationship with God. And we need not to be ashamed of our intimate relationship with God, but let our children see that we love the Lord. Not just on Sunday morning, but we love the Lord on Monday morning, and on Tuesday morning, and on Thursday evening, on Wednesday evening. We still love the Lord. We got to have an impact on the lives of the young people around us. It did my heart good on Friday night after the ball game. We usually have a team huddle after the game is over. We're about to leave the locker room and we forgot to say the prayer. Every practice we close with a prayer. Every game we close with a prayer. We forgot to say the prayer and say, oh, no, coach, where you going? Where you going, coach? They corrected me. Where you going? You taught us to pray. Oh, back then, we got to close this thing out with a prayer. We ain't had the best season, but we did learn how to pray. We were four and something other, y'all. Got more losses than we got wins. But we learned how to pray. To God be the glory. And somebody on that team has started praying because they were on the team. And we closed out with prayer. And they wanted to say, oh, no. Where you going? Coach, come on back in. We got to pray. And that's a good thing. Man, when you do it before the youth will learn to do it. Now, in today's text, we see a godly friendship between Jonathan and David. There are a few things that help us to understand that this is a godly friendship. We know who David is, Jesse's youngest son, anointed to be king as a teenager. Shepherd boy who killed a lion and a bear with his bare hand. Gifted musician who could play the music that would soothe Saul's troubled soul. The one who killed Goliath. The one who slept with Bathsheba. The one who had Uriah killed. David, the one who the Bible says was a man after God's own heart. David didn't always get it right, young people. But David had a love for God
Yes.
and a dependence on God.
Yes.
Young people, what am I saying? That you must love God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. Yes, I'm saying you gotta love him, love him, love him, love him, love him. You gotta love God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. And you gotta have a dependence on God. What are you saying, Pastor? I'm saying when you get up in the morning, say, God, guide my steps. Control my tongue. Direct my path to where you would have me to go this day, Lord. That's how David lived. David was a man after God's own heart. But who is this Jonathan character? Jonathan, King Saul's son. He is heir to the throne. Jonathan is a skilled military leader, a loyal and closest friend to David. Hold up now. Jonathan is next in line to be king. But David has been anointed to be king. So Jonathan is Saul's son. He's sitting at the right hand of Saul, and he should be the next king. But David has been anointed to be king. So he has to understand that Jonathan has a relationship with God that leads Jonathan to accept David as the next king. So you have to understand your position, young people, and you must be willing to accept God's positioning for you in life. Because what God has for you is going to bless you abundantly. And we have to understand that Jonathan accepted that David was going to be the next king. We can choose our friends, but it is best when we allow God to direct us to our friendship. I'm going to say that one more time. It is best when we allow God to direct us to our friendship. It says that the soul of Jonathan was knit with the soul of David, and he loved him as his own soul. A godly friend will love you as their own soul. A godly friend will not have you doing stuff that is not pleasing to God. A godly friend will be the one that will help to direct you on the right path. They will watch out for you as if they're watching out for their own self. Knit here comes from the Hebrew word kashur, which means to tie or to join together. So the scripture is telling us that Jonathan's soul was tied together with David's soul. It was joined spiritually with David's soul. It says as soon as David stopped speaking with Saul, that the soul of Jonathan was knit with the soul of David. And that's only a knitting that God could have put together. Because David was not speaking to Jonathan. David was speaking to Jonathan's daddy. And Jonathan's daddy was the king. But because of something in David, young people, there's something special inside of you. You just hold on to God's unchanging hand, and there's something special inside of you that's going to knit you to somebody that's godly and that's going to elevate you. Somebody ought to help me here. There's something special in each one of us that's going to knit us to somebody who's godly, that's going to elevate us to another position in life. Or somebody ought to get happy because there's something down inside of you that is going to knit you to somebody godly that's going to elevate you. They're going to have your back. When the enemy try to take you out, they're going to have your back. He was knit to the soul of David. Something special inside of you that's going to knit you to the soul of David. Now, this was a godly relationship. Some people try to get it twisted and say it was a homosexual, but it's not like that. Because they didn't read the whole text. See, if you go to chapter 20, verse 8, you'll see David reminds Jonathan of the covenant that they made in verse 3. It says, then Jonathan and David made a covenant. But then if you have read all the way over to chapter 20, verse 8, you will see that David reminds Jonathan that for thou hast brought thy servant. See, David still remembers his position. Remember, he's been anointed to be king, but he's still the servant. Somebody's going to get that here in a minute. You ain't been elevated yet, but you just hold on. Your elevation is coming. See, he's still in a service position, but he understands where God is going to take him. Is there anybody here who's understanding where God is about to take you? He said, for thou hast brought thy servant into a covenant of the Lord with thee. He's reminding Jonathan that you made a covenant of the Lord with me. So it was a godly relationship. And it was a covenant bound by the Lord. And here it is that, young people, you must be reminded that God has a special friend that he's going to place in your life just like he did in David's life. He's going to place somebody in your life. He's going to place somebody in your life. It's going to be able to open doors for you. That you haven't even thought about yet. Proverbs 3 and 4 reminds us, let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck. Write them upon the table of thine heart. So shall thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man. Mercy and truth. You got to keep them with you at all times. Mercy and truth. What are you saying, Pastor? I'm saying you got to have God on your side, and you got to be willing to stand up for what's true. And if you do that, you'll find favor with God and with man. If you will just keep speaking the truth. If you do what's right and speak the truth. David found favor with Jonathan, who should have been next in line to be king, but understood God's plan for David as king and made a covenant. Jonathan made a covenant with David that David would protect his family. Look at that guy now. I know I ain't the next one to be in line to be king, but because God has anointed you, David, I'm going to make a covenant with you that you will protect my family when you become king. I can't get into the whole story, but he has a son that is crippled, and his son is named Mephibosheth. And later on in life, when David is king, and David says, is there anybody left in the house of Jonathan? Is there anybody left in the house of Jonathan? And the servants sent out throughout the country, and they found out that Mephibosheth, a crippled man from the house of Jonathan, Jonathan's son, was still alive, but he was crippled. David said, bring Mephibosheth to the king's house and place him at the king's table. And Mephibosheth was at the king's table for the rest of his life because of the covenant that David and Jonathan has made back in the day. I don't know who I'm talking to, but God has already made a covenant with your parents and with your grandparents. And And because of the covenant God has made with your parents and your grandparents, you are going to be blessed, young people. You just hold on to God. Unchanging hand. And watch God work things out. Now, don't get it twisted. This does not mean that people are not going to hate on you. People are still going to hate on you because of the favor of God on your life, young people. David and Jonathan had a covenant. Am I right?
Yes.
Now Saul, the king, saw that the favor of God was on David. And Saul, verse 10, and it came to pass on the morrow that the evil spirit from God came upon Saul. And look at verse 11. And Saul cast a javelin, for he said, I will smite David, even to the wall with it. Look at that. The sons have made a covenant, but the evil spirit came on the father. And the father hated David because David was about to be king. And Saul wanted to kill David because of the favor of God on David's life. Not Jonathan. Jonathan wasn't upset. Jonathan had enough sense to make a covenant with a person who's going to be king. But Saul is the one that hated David, and he tried to kill him with a what? A javelin. And then he tried to kill him several other times. But if God be for you, young people, don't worry about who's against you. Just surround yourself with godly friends. That will be loyal to you, that will watch out for you. Godly friends that are doing godly things. What did Paul say? Paul said, finally, brethren, finally, young people, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, young people, whatsoever things are pure, young people, whatsoever things are lovely, young people, whatsoever things are of good report, young people, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things. If you're thinking on things that are true, it will help you to live wisely. Because David lived wisely all the days under Saul. If you don't believe me, check verse 5. It says David lived wisely. If you don't believe me, check verse 14. It says David lived wisely. David behaved himself wisely in all his ways. And the Lord was with him. See, when you live wisely, young people, and godly, God will be with you. I'm going to say that one more time, young people. When you live wisely and godly, God will be with you. And verse 30 says that David behaved himself more wisely than all the servants of Saul, so that his name was much set by, that he had a great reputation. So if you want to live wisely, think on things that are true. If you want to live wisely, think on things that are honest. If you want to live wisely, think on things that are just. If you want to live wisely, think on things that are pure. If you want to live wisely, think on things that are lovely. If you want to live wisely, think on things that are of good report. See, when you think on these things, they will help you to live wisely. We must allow God to order our steps. And we must surround ourselves with godly friends. Y'all know what godly friends are? The ones who encourage you to do godly things. The ones who encourage you to pray, to read the word, to sing songs. The ones who don't mind going to church with you. The ones who don't mind taking you to church. The ones who don't mind going to church functions with you. Surround yourself with godly friends. And you will find favor with God and with man. With all the wickedness that is going on in the schools today, young people, I beseech you to surround yourself with godly friends. Not all of your teammates are going to be godly friends. Not all of your classmates are going to be godly friends. But I'm asking you to find some teammates that love the Lord. Find some classmates that love the Lord. Let them be your friends. They may not be popular, but they'll be the best thing for you. Being popular is not always the best thing, because with popularity comes pressure. Pressure to do the wrong thing. But when you surround yourself with godly friends, I'm not going to say you're not going to have pressure, but you will know how to stand up to the pressure.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Surround yourself with godly friends. Goes for us too, the dope. Surround yourself with godly friends. It's not always easy with a dose. Sometimes you got to let somebody go.
Amen.
Now you can still invite them to church, but if they want to go to Club 81. Glory! What's that new club over in Greenwood name? Gotta get quiet now. Glory! Praise the Lord. Amen. Hey, come on. What? DJ Kamal in the house. Praise the Lord. Amen. But surround yourself with godly friends and watch God work on your behalf. Watch the favor of God on your life. Just like David found favor with God, you too shall find favor with God.
Amen.
I'm not saying that you're going to be king over a kingdom, but God will open mighty doors for you if you just surround yourself with godly friends. Amen.